Hi, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining this session on demystifying online marketplaces. Before I start, let me introduce myself and the company that I work with. So my name is Sudhanshu Rawat. I work with McFadyen Digital in Bangalore. I'm the Magento Practice Head here. I've been in the IT industry for over 2 decades now and working on e-commerce and online marketplaces for the past 12 years now. About McFadyen Digital. We're a global company. We are the marketplace experts. So we do large-scale e-commerce and marketplace implementations. We've been around pretty long, 35 years with the 24 years in e-commerce and 15 years of doing online marketplaces. We've got locations across 3 continents. Our head office is in US, Vienna. Our nearshore office is in Brazil, and India. We've got 3 locations, one each in Bangalore, Kochi, and Trivandrum. And we are innovators in the field of marketplaces. So we do a lot of thought leadership material which you can get access to. So moving to the presentation, the agenda for today, we'll talk about what a marketplace is. This is just a quick getting the thing rolling. We'll talk about the online marketplace architecture, what at a high level it looks like, what are the different components. We'll look at how marketplace UI and UX changes with coming into with the different scenarios coming from marketplaces. How do we change the quality assurance process? And then we'll summarize the whole discussion. Moving on. So a very simple definition of a marketplace. A marketplace can be defined as a platform where the different vendors and vendors come together to sell their goods and services to a curated customer base. There are 3 players which come up in this definition. A very simple definition, but 3 players. Vendors, who are the sellers of the goods and services, the customers who are buying those goods and services that are being sold by the sellers, and the platform which is bringing these vendors and customers together to enable these transactions. Nothing new there. We have all been shopping in marketplaces, so just a simple definition. Now, marketplaces have been around for thousands of years. The Grand Bazaar in Turkey, for those of you who've been to Istanbul, may have visited the Grand Bazaar. This is considered to be the oldest marketplace in the world that still continues to be in operation. There are 4,000 shops. It's attracting somewhere between 250,000 to 400,000 visitors daily. So you can see the scale at which marketplaces can operate, bringing together so many vendors and so many customers on one platform. Now, when we move to an online marketplace, a similar thing, but more of a digital thing, where you have a digital platform where the vendors and the customers are coming together and interacting electronically. Another entity which comes into the picture here is the marketplace operator, who will own and operate the platform, what we talked about in the previous slide. This operator will charge commissions from the vendors for all the goods and services they are selling on his platform. And the operator can also go around selling his own stuff, his own products on this marketplace, but that is not a necessity. Benefits, there are many benefits which come out of it, but for vendors, they're getting an access to an operational platform with a wide customer base. No need to launch your own website, no need to start looking for your own customers. You can simply register in the marketplace and start selling. Customers are getting access to a wide variety of products and services in one place. They don't have to go around visiting different vendors. And the prices are very competitive. And we've all seen it. We've been shopping in the Amazons and the Flipkarts, and we get offers from so many different sellers over there, which means the customer stands to gain over there. And the operator is earning commissions to the marketplace. Whatever transactions happening on that marketplace, they earn a commission out of it without having to maintain any inventory of their own. So that's a good part for them. Broad categorization of marketplaces. We can have B2B and B2C marketplaces. You're pretty aware of that. There can be others like C2C, but at a high level, these 2. And then there can be horizontal and vertical marketplaces. Horizontal like the Amazons and the Flipkarts, which are selling a large variety of goods, and a vertical, which is more into selling in a particular vertical in a particular domain. So for example, Pepperfry is selling only furniture and interior stuff, or OYO is selling only hotel rooms. There are some, the slides show some facts and figures about online marketplaces. I'm not going through all of them. These are 2020 figures, which clearly show that marketplaces are taking a major share of the online revenue, which is being generated across the world. And this is being accelerated with the pandemic. More and more people turning to online shopping, and the marketplaces are gaining more and more market share. So That is why we at McFadyen firmly believe that marketplaces are the future of e-commerce. Retailers who have not moved to marketplaces or who are not selling on marketplaces are missing out. And SIs like us who are into the e-commerce domain and are not working on marketplace are also missing out something. Now let's look at the online marketplace architecture. A very high level architecture of a marketplace is depicted here. So the top part here, the e-commerce platform, is something we're all aware of. We've been building a lot of e-commerce sites, so we know what this part is. But what comes new with the marketplace is this thing at the bottom, which is called the marketplace management platform. Now this is where the sellers, who are the ones who are selling the products and servicing the orders, this becomes the portal for the sellers. This is where they log in, they upload their products and carry out their activities. The front end e-commerce remains the same, which is actually the end customer facing, where the buyers are coming in and they're placing the orders. And then on the left, we have the marketplace operator. This person needs to log into both the commerce platform and the marketplace management platform to carry out all the administrative activities. He is the owner of this whole platform. We'll look at these components one by one. So the marketplace management platform. So this is the seller portal, the one at the bottom we were looking at. So this is what is enabling sellers to log in, upload their products, their prices, offers, anything that for an existing product we want to put offers, a lower offer for something, stocks, orders, payments, everything they need to do, they just need to log into this marketplace platform. They never need to go into the e-commerce platform. There are two types of seller platforms primarily. So the first types are cloud-based SaaS platforms. These are hosted solutions. They're generally built on microservices with a very rich set of features and functionalities. They will expose a set of APIs for integration with the commerce platform. So now, since in this case, the seller platform and the commerce platform are separate, we need a set of APIs in between for them to integrate and to exchange data between the two, to create a full-fledged marketplace. And they're generally supported by the platform vendors. You'll have a well-defined roadmap. You'll get proper support for it. So pretty professionally done there. We've got three examples here. This is not an exhaustive list. A Miracle, which happens to lead the pack. You can visit the site. You can see a lot of details about Miracle. There's VTEX, pretty popular in the Americas. They recently went public on the New York Stock Exchange, and they've also started expanding really well. And then Marketplacer, this again is a cloud-based platform. Now, we do have some reference sites, and these are sites which have been done by McFadyen. You can get details about them on our website, or you can also visit our booth. We've got some case studies there. We've done the eMart for ABB India and a similar thing called Loja Brazil for ABB in Brazil. These two sites are done on Miracle and Magento. There's the FedEx office. Their office business is an office supplies business. So there, again, there's a Magento Miracle-based site that we've created, a whole marketplace that's been created there. And then UNFI, United Natural Foods Inc. They supply a lot of food items. So they have done a community marketplace. Again, this is on Magento and Miracle. Like I said, you can refer to our website for more details, or you can get in touch with us if you want to understand what we've done with them. Now, the second type of platforms are the Magento extensions. Now, these are extensions, you're all aware of what Magento extensions are. These extensions can be plugged in on top of Magento and extend the native Magento functionality to create marketplaces. They will be pretty easy to install, configure, and customize. And you've worked with extensions, right? So once you take that extension, that code becomes yours and you are free to keep customizing. So customers who want a lot of customization on the marketplace, away from the standard out-of-the-box process, would really like to go with these extensions wherein they have a flexibility of customization. And then you get a single platform for marketplace sellers, customers, and operators. So what we've seen in the case of SaaS platforms is sellers log into a different platform, the customers log into a different platform. But in this case, the sellers and customers are all coming to the Magento platform. So whatever UI designer we are doing is common across both. Examples, Webpull, they've got a whole set of extensions which enable marketplace functionality. You can purchase whatever functionality you want to put in. And then there's Unergy. Unergy, again, has a whole set of extensions which you can purchase together and get marketplace functionality. Again, a couple of reference sites, BaySupply and ChemDirect. These are two sites which we've done on Magento and Webcool. BaySupply is for a company called Bayfasters in the US. We did a lot of customization for them. They've got a whole lot of suppliers sending in so many products to their platform, and we really had to stretch Magento to its limit to accommodate the requirements. Now, what platform do you choose? Do you go for the extensions or do you go for the SaaS-based platforms? And that's a choice which depends on a lot of different factors. You could have what are the out-of-the-box features and functionalities available. You have to see what is the level of customization that is required. You have to see the cost of licensing. There are recurring yearly fees. You have to look at that at the client's budget. And then there are client preferences on technology hosting options. Just one less, there are so many other factors which have to be considered. And so you have to engage with clients, whoever wants to you to decide which platform to use. You have to do a strategy consulting for them to understand their requirements, lay down their roadmap, and then recommend what platform would best suit them. Now, the e-commerce platform, that is the customer portal, where the customers are coming in, logging in to browse products and services, and they're placing their orders and they're managing their orders from there. So we've worked extensively with Adobe Commerce or Magento, and we've found it to a very great fit to create online marketplaces. It's offering a very rich set of features and functionality, pretty scalable. We need a very scalable system. Like I said, so many sellers coming in, selling so many products and so many customers coming in, as opposed to an e-commerce site. The volumes are so huge that you need a very scalable system over there, and Magento really scales well for that. You can easily customize it wherever required. You've got good options for doing the front end. PWAs are becoming really popular with the customers these days. So Magento, we do recommend Magento to a lot of our customers for doing the front end e-commerce part for marketplaces. Now, if we look at the operator needs to, like I said, log into both the front end commerce side and the seller portal. On the seller portal, the operator needs to onboard and manage sellers. Any new sellers coming in need to be onboarded over there. Then they need to be set up. Their account needs to be set up, and they have to be taught how to do it. They can curate all their marketplace products and categories. Mind you, the categories and the catalog belongs to the operator. They decide what category of products they want to sell on their platform. And the sellers upload their products on those particular categories. That's how they control what's being sold. And then the shipping configurations, your commission management, that's all done on the seller portal by the operator. And then the operator also needs to generate reports on the seller and marketplace performance to see what needs to change. The customer portal, there again, like a typical e-commerce site, whatever products we are importing from the seller portal, what needs to be shown on the side. You can create your categories, your whole taxonomy over there. You can manage your site content and promotions, because again, this platform belongs to the operator. So what that user experience is, what the site content is, again, managed by this operator. And then all the customer management and order management is happening over there through the operator. So now that we've seen the architecture of a marketplace, let's see how the UX and UI part differ for a marketplace. Now, at a very high level, the UX will not differ much for the case of a marketplace, because the way you're doing UX for an e-commerce site, you'll follow the same process to do it for a marketplace. But what changes here is the whole lot of additional scenarios which creep in, because now you're doing sellers, now you're doing offers, you're doing products coming from multiple sellers. So those are the things which have to be taken care of on all the pages which get impacted. Now I'll give you a very good example of a PDP. A PDP, when we are designing a PDP, when we're designing a user experience there, we are worried about how to showcase the product in the best possible way. What are the images, how big those images need to be. My product description needs to come out well. The prices, the customer needs to see that price really clearly. All those things, the ratings and reviews, right? So many things which we have to take care of. But the moment we move to a marketplace, apart from all these things, you will also need to start looking at things like sellers. Who are the sellers? What are the offers going in over there? What are the seller ratings? What are the different sellers who are selling there? I can see the ratings. So all those elements have to be brought in, wherein the customer needs to be able to see all those options on the PDP before placing the order for a particular product on the PDP. So the UX artifacts, the ones you see on the right, which are getting generated during the discovery process. the list is nothing new. Anybody from the UX side would see the list is nothing new. But in all of those, there is impact because of all the seller scenarios which are coming in. And that is what where the UX process differs for an online marketplace. Our UX team has gone through all those scenarios with all the experience that they've gained. They've actually created those user experience designs, taking care of all the impact, and that helps us accelerate the whole process of discovery for UX. Moving on the quality assurance side. What's changing here is on the right, you see these seller scenarios. This is something which did not exist in the case of a normal e-commerce site. So a whole lot of seller scenarios are coming in. There's a seller portal that we talked about. So any of the activities being done there have to be tested properly from a seller side of it. The buyer and operator scenarios more or less remain the same. But again, like the case of UX, there will be an impact based on the marketplace scenarios which are coming in. So like we took the example of PDP. In the PDP, apart from testing other things, I have to also see what are the offers available. Can I see all the sellers who are giving those offers? Can I see the ratings of those sellers? Am I able to place an order for a particular offer? There are so many things which will change in the whole functional testing process. And that is where all my test cases, nearly all my test cases get impacted for a marketplace. So again, our QA practice has done that whole exercise based on our experience, and they create this whole set of standard test cases which can be used to test any marketplace. Of course, there will be customizations which will happen for particular clients, but overall, the whole marketplace process, you can always bring them together into a standard set of test cases. So that's where the functional testing gets impacted. So I'll summarize what we've learned in this session today. Marketplaces benefit customers, sellers, and operators. Everyone gets to benefit from marketplaces, and we've seen that. The customers are getting a bit of variety, sellers are getting a ready customer base to sell to, and they don't have to invest on their own e-commerce sites. And the operators, without having to manage an inventory, are able to make commission out of the site. There are two types of platforms. You could have SaaS offerings, you could have Magento extensions. The choice depends on the requirements of the client, and we have to do a particular kind of strategy consulting to be able to decide or recommend which platform suits them. The seller portal is for sellers, the e-commerce platform is for end customers, and the operators work on both of them because they are the ones who own the platform. Magento fits very well as an end customer facing e-commerce front end, and we've seen a lot of reasons for that, primarily being its ease of integration, its ease of customization, and its scalability. UX design needs to cater to the marketplace functionality. We've seen that all the scenarios do get impacted. There are new additional scenarios which come in from the marketplace, and the QA testing scope also changes to accommodate the seller side testing. And of course, like I said, we at McFadyen believe that marketplaces are the future of e-commerce. So for those of you who want to know further about marketplaces, there is some further reading that we can recommend. There's a marketplace best practices book, which is written by Tom McFadyen. He's our CEO. This book covers all the aspects of online marketplaces, on how do you build marketplaces, how do you operate marketplaces. It's a pretty good read. You can get a Kindle edition on Amazon. There's a marketplace sweet spot report. So I had given you very few examples of marketplace, some sample examples of marketplaces, marketplace platforms. So you can look at the sweet spot report. We publish this annually. We compare some of the leading marketplace platforms out there, their strengths, their weaknesses, and then we rate them accordingly. And then we have a marketplace maturity model. So this is a 5-stage process. It's not exactly a process. There's various steps through which a first-party e-commerce site can get to a fully operational and optimized marketplace. So anybody wanting to launch a marketplace can take the various steps. So that's all I had. There are a lot of resources available. You can subscribe to them, and I'm happy to take any questions at this point of time. Okay, so yeah, and I think we don't have any questions right now. Do visit our booth on the event platform. You will find a lot of stuff there related to related to McFadyen and what we've published. You can speak to us on the launch for any questions, clarifications you require from us. And you can also get in touch with me at any point of time. My email and contact number are there. So thank you for your time today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.